In a peaceful village nestled among green fields and tall trees, there lived a young, curious boy named Arjun. Every day, Arjun would spend his time exploring the world around him, always eager to learn something new. One sunny afternoon, as he sat on the porch with his wise and loving grandfather, he was practicing his alphabet. Arjun had just finished reciting his ABCs when a thought crossed his mind. Why do we always start with the letter A? He wondered. The question grew louder in his heart until he couldn't help but ask his grandfather. Grandpa, with his warm smile and patient demeanor, listened intently. He was always ready to share the wisdom he had gathered over the years. Without hesitation, Grandpa began telling a story, one that was old yet timeless, passed down through generations. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there existed a magical kingdom. But this was no ordinary kingdom. It was the kingdom of letters, where all the letters of the alphabet lived in harmony. The land was vibrant, full of life and energy, with each letter playing its unique role in the world. They were more than just symbols, they were beings with character and personality. One day, the wise king of the kingdom called for a grand assembly. The letters, curious and excited, gathered in the royal palace, eager to hear what the king had to say. The grand hall shimmered with gold and colorful banners, and the letters took their places, filling the room with chatter. The king, with his long beard and wise eyes, rose from his golden throne. He spoke in a deep, gentle voice. "Dear letters," he began, "I have a question for you all. Which one of you is the most important?" The hall grew silent for a moment. The letters looked at each other, each pondering the king's question. Then, one by one, they began to speak. The letter B, he was the first to step forward. Proud and confident, B declared, "I am the most important. Think of all the wonderful words that start with me: ball, butterfly, book. The world would be dull without me." The other letters murmured in agreement. But then, the letter C boldly stepped forward. "No, no, it's I who am the greatest," said C. "Without me, there would be no cats, cars, or cakes. Who could imagine a world without cake?" More letters spoke up, each boasting about the words they contributed to the world. D mentioned dogs and dolls, while F proudly listed flowers and friends. The room grew louder as each letter tried to outshine the others, convinced of their own importance. Amidst all the noise, a quiet voice spoke up. It was the letter A. Unlike the others, A didn't boast or shout. Instead, A stood calmly and humbly before the king and the other letters. "I do not need to claim greatness," said A softly, yet firmly. "For without me, none of you would exist. I am the beginning. I am the first sound you make when you learn to speak. I lead the way for all the other letters." The room fell silent as the other letters realized the truth in A's words. They had all been so focused on their own importance that they had forgotten the role of A, the very letter that allowed them to exist in the first place. The wise king nodded, his eyes filled with understanding. "A has spoken wisely," he said. "Just as A is the first of all letters, so is the Creator the first and foundation of all things in this world. The Creator is like the letter A. Without the Creator, nothing could begin, and nothing could exist." The letters bowed their heads in respect, realizing that while each of them was important, the Creator was the source of everything. The king's words echoed through the hall, reminding them all of the deeper truth behind their existence. Back in the village, Arjun sat quietly on the porch, absorbing the story his grandfather had told him. His mind wandered to the sky, where the sun was slowly setting, painting the horizon with soft hues of pink and orange. He understood now what his grandfather had been trying to teach him. Just as the letter A is the beginning of the alphabet, the Creator is the beginning of all things. From that day on, whenever Arjun learned something new or started a new adventure, he remembered the lesson of the letters. He knew that everything had a beginning, and that beginning was special, just like the Creator. Whether it was learning the alphabet or exploring the world, Arjun understood that the Creator's presence was always there, guiding him from the start. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the village grew quiet, Arjun looked up at the vast sky, feeling a sense of wonder. He smiled to himself, knowing that he, too, was part of something much bigger, a world that began with the Creator, just like the alphabet began with Lay. And so, Arjun carried the wisdom of the story with him, always remembering that every journey begins with a single step, and every creation starts with its creator.